security eventually got down there. Part of what was also said, and maybe we should even play a little bit of it in case we missed out on some part of it, because he said quite a number of things. But let's allow you to listen to this particular comment of his.
When we bring in security to tip the election in favor of one party against the other, we start getting worried. I'll give you 3 instances. Now, about 2 weeks to the election, a convoy of personnel of the State Security Service in about 50 trucks were driving through Osun State, through Osogbo. Many of them wearing masks and shooting into the air.
50 trucks.
50 trucks. You see, this report is said to be contradicted today. The only thing we heard from the head of the SSS in Osogbo was that, yes, there is men. But when they were asked, why were they wearing masks? He said he was going to investigate. When did masks become part of the official uniform of the Department of State Security Service? And why would 50 trucks of masked DSS personnel be driving through Osogbo and shooting in the air to intimidate innocent citizens all before election?
What did you say to that?
And now, Chamberlain, I want to say here that he has mentioned that 50 trucks of masked DSS personnel entered Osogbo. Were these 50 trucks deployed to Osogbo? If I have my arithmetic right, we have 30 local government areas in Osun. And let's take it, we deployed 50 trucks to Osun for the elections based on the letter I had read earlier inviting us. And we have to post 2 trucks made up of 4 personnel in a truck to the 30 local governments. How many will that be? Simple arithmetic. 50 trucks, right? 30 local governments. Now, when it talks about mask, I don't know whether it's masquerade, the masks that the masquerade wear, or the normal hood that our operatives use. Now, the FBI have the SWAT team, which is a team, the special tactical team that they use. We have the START. And when you have to pick, some certain things from certain places, you must speak it correctly. Operationally, when these people are going out, that is their mode of dressing. Now, they dress that way because, these are operatives that are used for other assignments. And first of all, is to be able to avoid maybe eye contact, recognition that will unduly bias or undermine our operations. And it is not the first time the DSS personnel are hooded. I want to take our minds back to the first time the First Lady decided to have a Congress of all, or a confederation of all women in security, law enforcement, and all that. The operatives, the female operatives of the service, participated in that event, and they all wore hood, and nobody criticized or can condemn that. Now, I want to know if it's only the APC that took part in the elections in Osun. Yesterday, I had also listened to the chairman of the Labour Party, who also had a candidate at that elections. And he had said that all the political parties do not see anything wrong with the deployment of security to Osun. Thank God we had enough security. The outcome of the result is favorable. Why all these hues and cries? I want to say, according to what Chief Dan Iwanyango said, that it's only those that had ulterior motives against that election that were complaining about security.
Well, just a moment, Ma. But if you look at it, I mean, you have given and read a letter inviting the State Security Service. You have said that whether or not that letter was written, you have a statutory duty to provide security anyway, but they wrote a letter nonetheless. So, in other words, they wanted you in the state. The question will be, do you usually do a show of force? We know that a lot of security agencies do it. Even now we understand that the Federal Road Safety Commission even participates in that. But does the DSS normally participate or organize a show of force?
Definitely, Maokpe. Since security forces started engaging or working closely to stem out terror or insurgency in Nigeria, there has been a need to actually embark on show of force. And remember, I have said here that intelligence reports gathered from the field in Osun. I want to state here also that relatively Osun has been a very peaceful state. But after the elections in Ekiti, there was this fierceness amongst the political parties that they were not going to, allow the PDP to win elections in Osun. This was the intelligence that was gathered. And from activities, the build-up of activities from after the Ekiti elections to the elections in Osun, there were indications that if security forces were not adequately on the ground, and if we did not allow the people or these people that were trying to disrupt the election activities know that we are capable of taking charge of the electoral processes, then they were going to hijack it. I want to also say that before the elections, we had profiled all talks and all those that sponsored these talks and had started even before the elections to bring them in. And most of the ones that were brought in were arrested with shotguns, cut to size, pickaxes, cutlasses, and charms. Enough, and it wasn't from any one political party. I want to also state that even before the elections in Ekiti, go and verify. Our security reports indicated that talks had been brought into Ekiti, and they were also picked. And so I don't know why we should be, the ordinary person who expects security to provide an enabling environment would want to tell us how we should carry out our operations.
Well, now you have said that there was a show of force, and so it's very probable, even though a lot of people were wondering if the trucks were up to 50, but you're saying that it could be that number with the number of personnel you expect to deploy across the states, and you're saying that your trucks, which I believe will be Hilux vehicles, would maybe have maximum of 4 persons in it. Were they also shooting into the air? And would that be right if they were? Now, I would, if somebody wants to drive home an argument, he might bring in things that happened and things that did not happen just to show that he's making a case. I don't know whether in these other states, Edo, Ondo, Anambra, Ekiti, whether the DSS people were reported to be reckless, shooting into the air for what? And the APC spokesperson did say he reported that people were wearing masks, and the director said he was going to investigate. I doubt that very much, because Maokpe, you have been to Abuja, and I'm sure when you people came for the economic forum in Abuja the other time, you saw that the SSS operatives deployed were hooded. It's not the first time our operatives are wearing hood.